Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a super important, high-demand tech role that's basically the digital backbone for almost every modern business, the ERP Specialist. Seriously, if you've ever wondered how these massive companies keep all their complex moving parts from just spinning into total chaos, you are in exactly the right place.
So picture this. Your finance team has no clue what the real-time sales numbers are. The warehouse team is completely in the dark about what the marketing team is pushing. In HR, they're off on an island using a totally separate system for payroll. It's organized chaos, right? Well, this is a huge problem for so many businesses where different departments are just stuck in their own little silos. It leads to massive inefficiencies and, honestly, a ton of missed opportunities.
So, what's the solution to all that madness? It's a little something called ERP, which stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. You can think of it as the ultimate team player for a company. ERP software is specifically designed to just knock down those walls between departments. It takes all the essential stuff, finance, HR, supply chain, you name it, and brings it all together under one single unified system. And this is where that analogy of a central nervous system really works. An ERP system makes sure that information just flows seamlessly from one part of the business to another. All of a sudden, everyone is on the same page working from the exact same real-time data. And that empowers the entire company to make smarter, way faster decisions. Okay, so who's the person managing this incredibly complex and vital system? Well, that brings us to the hero of our story today, the ERP Specialist. These are the puzzle masters, the digital architects, and the guardians of this entire business nervous system. What's so cool about this job is just how much variety there is. An ERP specialist isn't just a coder sitting in a corner, and they're not just a support tech. Nope. They're involved in the entire life of the system. From the very beginning, setting it up and customizing it, to training all the employees, and of course, providing all the ongoing maintenance. And that last point, data management, that is absolutely critical. They make sure the information flowing through the system is accurate and trustworthy. Because, you know the saying in business, garbage in, garbage out. And you really can't overstate how important they are. I mean, without a skilled specialist, a company's most powerful tool can quickly turn into its biggest nightmare. These are the folks who prevent the data errors, the inefficiencies, and the system meltdowns that can literally cripple a business. So, what does it take to become one? So, maybe your interest is piqued. You're thinking, what does it actually take to become one of these puzzle masters? Great question. Let's open up the Specialist Toolkit and take a look at the skills you're going to need. This is what makes the role so incredibly unique and valuable. It's a true hybrid. On one side, you've got to have some serious tech skills. We're talking database management and a deep knowledge of specific software like SAP or Oracle. That can even mean programming in languages like Java or Python to build custom stuff. But on the other side, you need some sharp business smarts. You have to understand how a company actually works, and you need the communication skills to explain all this complex tech to people who aren't techies. So the typical path usually kicks off with a bachelor's degree in something related, like computer science or business. But here's the pro tip. What really makes you stand out from the crowd are certifications. Getting certified in a major ERP system like SAP or Microsoft Dynamics, that's like a giant flashing sign to employers that says, hey, I've got proven, specialized expertise. All right, now for the big question, the one you've probably been waiting for. What does a career in ERP actually look like? Let's map out the path forward and let's talk about the rewards. The growth potential here is awesome because it's so clear and structured. You might start out as an analyst, just learning the ropes of a system. But with some experience, you can move up to a senior specialist or even a consultant, where you're working with a bunch of different clients. And from there, leadership roles like project manager or even IT director are totally within reach. Okay, let's talk numbers. Let's talk salary. Even right at the entry level, the pay is pretty impressive. We're typically talking a starting range of $60,000 to $80,000. That is a very strong start for a career, especially right out of college. And that is just the beginning. With just a few years of experience under your belt, a mid-level specialist can expect to see their salary take a pretty significant jump, often pushing well into the $90,000 range or even cracking that six-figure mark. And for the senior specialists, the expert consultants, the earning potential is easily over $100,000. The top experts in really high-demand systems like SAP or Oracle can earn way more. It's simple. The high demand for these skills translates directly into high pay. So, you've got these super valuable skills. Where can you take them? Well, the great news is this isn't some tiny niche field, not at all. Let's take a look at the industries that are absolutely hungry for ERP talent.
Just look at this list. It's so diverse. Manufacturing, healthcare, finance, retail, logistics. I mean, any industry that has to deal with complex operations and supply chains is leaning hard on ERP systems. Now, manufacturing has always been a huge employer, but an industry like healthcare is one of the fastest growing areas for these jobs, mostly because they have such an intense need for integrated patient and financial data.
So if you're thinking, okay, I want to get started, here is your roadmap. Focusing on the big dogs like SAP and Oracle is always a safe bet, especially if you want to work for huge corporations. But you should also keep a close eye on systems like Microsoft Dynamics and NetSuite, because they are super popular with small and medium-sized businesses. Honestly, specializing in any one of these is your ticket to a great career. So we'll end with a little food for thought. In a world that pretty much runs on data, doesn't the person who manages the central nervous system of a company's data become, well, indispensable? As businesses get even more connected and data-driven, the ERP specialist might just be shifting from a key tech role into the most essential, strategic role in the entire company. Definitely something to think about.